Shubh Deepavali to all of you all in advance. Now in this session, I want to talk about two things to you, which is extremely important for you as a student. Number one, I want to talk to you about the character building. Throughout your life, your outcome, your success, whatever you become, would be the outcome of the character building. And second, I want to talk to you about the success. What exactly this success is, how do you achieve, what are the key fundamentals and elements for success, and how exactly you take the right steps to become what you want to become. I want to start with a story. The story is about a great man who was born in this great land of Karnataka. The man belonged to the agriculture family, but he was not very interested in agriculture. He was interested in books. He liked reading. And that's how the story goes back to 1920s, but he made his way to college. And he ended up graduating in Sanskrit. But that was not enough. Though in 1930s, a graduation in Sanskrit was a big thing, but that was not enough for the person. He started his journey to the place called Allahabad, or now of Prayagraj. And he worked hard. He earned the degree called Sanskrit Visharad, a great thing of that time. But then, again, not enough. More to do. He traveled to different places of this country. He traveled to Delhi, he traveled to Ramakrishna Mutt, Kolkata, he traveled to a lot of places which were of significant importance. And by this time, around 1935, he got inspired by Mahatma Gandhi. He did his contribution as what we call Swatantrata Senani, or in freedom struggle. He went to jail also. He came out. And then he got even more inspired. What he thought is that now with all this knowledge, I should be of some value to this society. I should be of some contribution. He came back to Bangalore. And in 1940, he applied to the government for a land wherein he can start something of education. And in 1943, something happened. He got allotted a land in Bangalore and he started a school. At that time, there were hardly any resources. With almost no resources, he started a school of 1 classroom and 6 students. Do you know what this school was? Rashtriya Vidyalaya. And do you know who that great person is? Pandit Shivananda Sharma. Today's fruits are of yesterday's visionaries. What he thought 80 years back is what we are bearing today. We all of are enjoying the fruits of his vision, his labor, his hard work, and his thought of contribution. So there's one thing that all of us should learn in this life is that what matters most to all of us is contribution. And contribution does not come only if I become a philanthropist. Contribution matters in every single field. Not just a scientist of ISRO is important, but also a shopkeeper providing certain things to his locality is equally important. Not just a teacher of a school is important, but a cab driver giving services for people end to end is equally important. Not just a doctor is important, but a person driving an ambulance is equally important. So there's one thing if you want to learn in this life, every role is important no matter what you become. Do not go by the society status. Do not go by the salary ranges. Do not go by how much you can earn, but go by in what role I can contribute more. And the moment you realize that this is the role I can contribute the most, you will feel successful. I often say that success is not about all the achievement. Success is the long-term satisfaction in what you are doing. If you are doing something for 10 years and you feel that this is what I liked, you are successful. Successful is not just an entrepreneur who has built a lot of companies, but also a mother who got the satisfaction of 20 years of service to bring up a child. She is equally successful. So that should be your definition of success. Now, as a student, how do I start? I always suggest every student that your life should start in school life and in college life by reading. And what should you read? Apart from thousands of things that are available to read, I always suggest that you read the biographies of great people. And I have some recommendation for you today. Where should I start? If you actually want to start reading and want to read and learn about one person and one person only, it should start with Bhagwan Shri Ram. Learn about the life of Bhagwan Shri Ram and you will find why for thousands of years he has been titled as Maryada Purushottam. The man who never compromised in his Maryada and the man who is Purushottam, the highest in the men. You see his roles as a brother, you see his roles as a son, you see his role as a husband, you see his role as a friend, and also you see his role as an enemy. And you will find that he never compromised with the dignity in any of the role. And that is exactly where you'll get to know how do I become a perfect person. Not just as a friend, but also as an enemy. I'll give you one incident from his life that touched me most. At the time of defeating Ravan, the first option Bhagwan Shri Ram had was to capture and rule Lanka. And I'm not sure if you know about this story, but Lakshman was actually in favor of that. Lakshman was in favor of that why not that I should stay here and rule Lanka while you go back and rule Ayodhya. And we will have the entire world for us. Do you know what Shri Ram said at that time? Shri Ram said, "The son khanij na rochte mohe Lakshman, janani janma bhumi, janani janma bhumischi, swarga dapi gariyasi." He said that it's not about the treasures of Lanka, it's not about the golden Lanka, it is about my Ayodhya. It is my Janani Janma Bhumi that is even greater than the heaven for me. So the second lesson for you is that when you become successful, your fundamental duty is to contribute to your Janma Bhumi. Irrespective of where you are from a small village or you are from a big city, you are from a small society or you are from a big apartment, you can always contribute. And the first place or contribution is your Janani Janmabhoomi. So the value of contribution you should learn. Now, few more biographies that I recommend that you should read is, one is Adi Shankaracharya. Do you know that in 8th century, had Sri Adi Shankaracharya was not there, probably we as our identity may not exist. And do you know, one of the most important thing is that he was only 32 years when he ended his journey. to the next word. He started his journey at an 8-year-old kid from Kerala in that time of 8th century. And in next 20 years, he ended up traveling the entire country. He had lot of discussions and debates of the greatest of that time and defeated them all, and ended up establishing what we call today Char Dham in only 20 years of his life and 32 years of his total age. That is the greatest contribution we have from the person called Adi Shankaracharya. The next person you should definitely read about is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Netaji was the visionary of his time. Netaji did not define it through the boundary of a country, but he went. He knew that my country is under capture. So he actually traveled to more than 20 countries, founded the support of entire world community from different countries, and established that time of army NIA. And probably not many people know about this, but one of the greatest contribution of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is the NIA's fight. Apart from that, the NIA inspiration, which was very important for 1945 Navy mutiny, which the Angrez or English was most scared of to leave this country, and that's how we got independence. So Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, one person you must read. You must read. The next person you must read is Mahatma Gandhi. And why Mahatma Gandhi, I'll tell you. Do you know the age of Mahatma Gandhi when he came back to India? He was 42 years old. He was in South Africa and he traveled back to India, and at that time he was 42 years old. And do you know the age of Mahatma Gandhi at the time of his death? It was 69 years. Only in 27 years, he traveled the journey from a person landed from South Africa who studied as a lawyer to becoming the greatest person of this country. So the message for you here and for all of us here is that we are never too late. It is never about the age. It is about starting the journey. When and where you are. So these were some of the few people, but not all. We have some of the greatest people born in this great land of Karnataka and everywhere in India. We are the oldest civilization, and the next thing that you can learn about is all our history. It is often said that those who protect the future knows their history. And you are the protectors. So you should know our history. Now the next thing I wanted to talk about you is, as I said, that first thing is character building. And I gave you all the examples that you can go back, read, learn more about. And it is not just about reading. You can go and watch, you have a lot of videos available. It is all about learning and implementing the lessons. Now the next thing I want to talk about is success. Now, I do not know anyone in this world who would not want to become successful. And as I said in the beginning, that the definition of success is different for all of us. We might have definition of success differently, but the goal is same, to become better from where we are. And for that, I want to give you a formula. I call this formula my success formula. If I have to become successful, what would I do? And there are 3 components in this formula that I talk about to everyone. The first component of success formula is presentation. If you want to become successful, the first thing you have to work is on your presentation. And remember this, that presentation is not just attire. Presentation is how you go and show yourself in front of other people. Now, As per lot of research and scientific understanding, it takes a human only 10 to 20 seconds to judge a person. Imagine I would have come in probably a t-shirt and joggers. Would you even allow me? Probably not. So that is the value of presentation. How do you present for the right place at the right moment? And that is what you should learn. Number one is presentation. Number two, and the very important thing we all have got naturally, communication. You must work hard to develop your communication. The next thing when you go and meet someone is you start to speak. And the moment you speak apart from your presentation, I judge. I think that now how should I respond? Is it worth it? Do I want this person? And a lot of different scenarios that you will learn in your life. And number three, which is the most important in today's, tomorrow, and the future, is specialization. If you see any person who is the most successful, I'm talking about the most successful, and you will find one thing in common in them: they are specialized people. Let me give you some examples. You know Virat Kohli? You know Anil Kumble? Yeah? What is their specialization? Can Kumble go and bat just like Virat Kohli? Can Virat Kohli go and ball just like Kumble? They have their specialization. Virat Kohli's specialization is his batting and his fitness. Anil Kumble's specialization is probably his spin. And I can go on to give you examples in cricket, but there is one thing you will find, that is specialization. You know Ratan Tata? You know Anand Mahendra? You know Kiran Majumdar-Shaw? What is their specialization? Entrepreneurship, running a business. Are they in the same business? One might be in medicine,